Hey, it's Gary with Ultra Plumbing, and in this video I'm going to go over the Aquastrong Smart 45 booster pump. I recently acquired one of these and I just wanted to try it out and kind of see how it works. So this video is going to show how to install it and just talk about it a little bit. The Smart 45 is a little all-in-one booster pump, so it has a built-in pressure tank, check valve, and it's zero maintenance, which is kind of cool. And it's a pretty solid build to it. You know, it feels really strong, it's stainless steel, just durable in general. Like, this box is like really heavy. The pump is fully adjustable, so it goes from 1.5 bars to 5.5 bars, which I think is roughly like 22 psi to 80 psi. And also it's super quiet. I mean, when this thing's running, you can barely tell. This pump can be used for a garden, a well, on a house with a water main. It has various uses, and it's got smart features in it as well, which is pretty cool. So it'll automatically shut off if there's like a power issue, a leak, a pump blockage, that kind of thing. But anyway, let's get into it. So the thing I just took off here, that's where you would prime the pump. Basically, before you run it, you would fill that with water and then turn it on. On the front here, you'll find the inlet and outlet. So the top one here is the outlet, and it's a 1-inch thread on it, 1-inch NPT. It also has a union nut behind it, that black nut, which can be used to adjust the angle and just remove it for service and whatnot. This lower one is the inlet, and it's also 1-inch NPT, male threads. So you're going to use a 1-inch female to thread onto those and run your pipes. Here you'll find the drain plug for the unit, and that's pretty much everything. I mean, it's a pretty little straightforward unit, pretty intuitive. But here's the back if you're interested in this data as well, just talking about some of the specifics. And here's the buttons actually. You got power, and then we got increase the pressure and lower the pressure. Pretty simple. You just hold the power button to start the pump, and you just hold it again to turn it off. But anyway, we're going to install it here and see how it does. As you can see on my pressure gauge, I have about 60 psi at the moment. So it's sitting at 60 psi. It's from municipality water main. So we're going to connect the pump now and see how it does. You want to start by putting your Teflon tape and pipe dope onto the male threads of the booster pump, and then you're going to thread on your 1-inch female adapters as I'm doing here. Once I got the female adapters installed, I went ahead and sent the pump in place and did my connections to the water main. Now, since the pump has 1-inch connections on it, my water main here is actually 3/4, so I had to push it down. So you see me here just installing some 90s just to come off of my water main, and we basically just come off to the side. I increase the pipe size to 1-inch, and then I connect it to the inlet and outlet of the pump. Pretty straightforward. So if your main is just a pipe coming out of the ground like this, then this is just one way that you could do your installation. But once I get everything glued in place, of course I have to wait on my glue time, and then I'm able to turn it on. Alright, we got it all connected. As you can see, I got the 3/4 inch PVC coming out of the ground. I brought it into the inlet. I had to bump it up to 1-inch to connect it to the pump. Then I come out with the 1-inch and reduce it down to 3/4 again and go to the house. So we're gonna let this set up, and then we're gonna turn the water back on and turn on the unit, and we'll see if we can get it to go to 80 psi, which I'm thinking it's gonna be able to do pretty easily from 60, so we'll see. So after I wait on my cement drying time, I went ahead and primed the pump by just filling it with water using a bucket. So with the water back on and the pump primed, I went ahead and plugged it in and powered on the pump. I started by setting the pressure to the highest setting, which is 5.5 bars. And so then I go ahead and throw on a pressure gauge to see where it got us. And as you can see, we're sitting at right around like 90, 95 psi, which obviously is way too high. I don't recommend ever going over 80. But next I'm going to run it inside so I can show you what happens on the pressure gauge as you're actually using the water. So you saw as we were using the water, the pressure stayed pretty consistent. It jumped around a little, but now it's sitting at 100 while running a couple taps. So I would say that's pretty good. So then I adjusted the settings to get it to about 75 psi. And then I do the test again, run in the faucet. So I run the kitchen, and then I'm going to go to the bathroom and run the bathroom. But you see that the pump pretty consistently keeps it around that 75 psi, which is pretty awesome. So I didn't really mess with it more to get it right to 80, but I think it was enough to demonstrate that it went to 95, 100, and that now it's kind of sitting at 70, 75 pretty consistently. So I think that was a pretty good test. But that's the Smart 45 booster pump from Aquastrong. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to drop me a comment. And of course, you can always contact Aquastrong directly to ask any questions. I'm just going to show the instruction manual here real briefly in case you're interested. But otherwise, we appreciate you watching. And we're on every social media platform, so if you're on any of those, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, you should follow us there too. But this is Gary, signing out. Thanks again for watching.